Hello, in this video is addressed to my twin flame Shia. Hi Shia. For those just watching, I thank you for watching. This is going to be some crime against me and my twin flame Shia. And Shia, I kind of pushed my seat down to try to see if I could pull up my neck, pull up my back, but I noticed if I straighten my spine too much, there's a weird nerve sensation that goes off in my head, and it feels painful. So that's part of the reason why I hunch over a little bit. So in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about my dad right now, because I was told to talk about him to you a little bit so you could get to know a little bit about him. I don't really feel like talking about my parents, but and also I can't get too close to my parents because of the situation and what I've gone through. However, this is some things about my dad, and I'm going to show you some photographs, Shia. I'm not going to talk too much about the attacks from the internet hacker attacks. I'm not in the mood. I've been severely tortured all morning, but I have had some very good things happen to me after I recited part of the Quran, which is, I googled exorcism, which Quran verses exorcise the jinns in the body, and I did one of the verses, the Al-Jinn chapter, Al-Jinn chapter, and if you recite that, like, your whole body will have this crystalline, sparkling energy feeling. And so I'm actually going to continue reciting that after today, unless I clean. It's kind of cool today, so I don't really have any reason not to clean. And I've been really putting it off, and it's not really like me to put off cleaning so much. I think that these demons tried every different angle in order to try to keep me feel like I'm in a demon portal. So they tried so hard to itch and pick and scurry around all over my skin with my hands like rodents. Like, they're turning my hands into rodents, and they're just scurrying around all my body, itching, picking, biting, chewing, scratching, digging, burying into my skin, into my... this goes on all day long, and this has been going on. This itch problem has been going on for 20 years now. 15 years. So I just wrote a whole page that I'll go through right now in regards to my dad. But I'm not going to talk to him on the phone because I can't get too close to my parents because of the situation. But obviously I'm less mad at my dad. However, they're not going to like me no matter what, especially who I am and what I'm doing. They can't really completely like me, so I can't really completely like them. But he has worked construction his whole life, drywall, sheetrock, but later on he was able to do lots of different things, and the last 10 years he started fixing, remodeling homes and remodeling his own homes. He's co-owned 3 homes now, and he owns one home now, small home in South Carolina. He worked for free a lot in his life because he likes, he just can't stop working. And I was always wondered, well, why aren't you getting paid, why are you working for free? And I think part of it is because he really just needs to move around and keep working on things. His second wife, Diane, she is also, that was Greg, my dad, was her second husband. She had 2 children previous to being with my dad. They never had children, my dad and his second wife, because I think they were too old. But I didn't really hang around her children much, maybe a few times. But he's been with her for many years, and they have they're still together, but I don't know if they're living together, but they obviously hang around with each other a lot. She's Lithuanian. She never really gave me a hard time, especially to my face. She didn't really give me a hard time till like maybe like a couple times that I saw her within the last 8 years, it became a little obvious. So they lived in Manchester. They lived in an apartment in Manchester, and I lived with them in Manchester for, I don't know, 5 months. And then in Connecticut, they had a house in Connecticut. They had a house in New Jersey. He now lives in South Carolina. He keeps to himself, my dad. He works. He likes people, but not for a long time. He only likes to chat with them briefly, or chat on the phone. Like people in the neighborhood, he'll chit-chat with people, or on the phone he'll chit-chat with people, but he doesn't like to hang around with people for a long time. Some of the things he did when I was a child, he dyed my hair like a reddish color, a reddish purplish strawberry blonde color, and he told me it wasn't going to be permanent, and it ended up being semi-permanent, but it didn't come out, and I really didn't like that color, and it was really embarrassing. I remember in childhood, he had really shitty cars, and one of them had a broken muffler and a wooden bumper, just a piece of wood as a bumper, and he'd pick me up from school or drop me off with it. It would be so embarrassing. He kind of humiliated me a lot, not by poverty, but other ways. We didn't have a lot in common. He's been kind of poor, but kind of middle class, but my stepdad never took a role of being my parent. He was strictly a bully / enemy, and sometimes friendly. But when my dad would still be around when I was growing up in childhood and young adult and adult, so my dad was my dad. My stepdad was never my dad, and my stepdad knew that. It was very clear that he knew that. My dad's parents had a lake house in Winnipesaukee, and we would go up there and go swimming. Sometimes go on the boat, not a lot. But it's a very nice lake house. But they live there full time, and they have a camper too. They would probably travel and go live down in Florida in the winters. They did that, and now his dad's dead from cancer, but his mother's still alive in Florida. And my dad's parents, my dad's dad's more of like an office person, and my dad's mom is like a housewife. Was like the housewife. My dad has had possession, and he has been tortured. It's pretty obvious. It's pretty obvious the way he acts. He was harassed and physically assaulted by the hacker. Child path supporter told me, and I'm 100% positive. There's no way that criminal wouldn't harass my dad. My dad likes history, sports, and the news. So when I went around to visit him, it was kind of boring to have to watch sports because I would just space out. I don't watch sports. History, my brain never would be able to listen to history. Specifically the type of subjects of history that my dad likes. And then news, I wasn't allowed to watch the news and politics. He listened to some politics on the news. I just spaced out, so it was kind of boring watching TV with my dad when I visited him and stuff. I'm not saying my dad's boring. I'm just saying me and my dad don't have a lot in common. And it's not that we didn't really get along. We had some good conversations on the phone. He's friendly. His language can be very vulgar. He says it's because of the people around him in construction, but he has some kind of a vulgarity with the way he speaks. He is pretty funny. He likes to joke around. He likes to joke around in kind of a kind of clownish jokester way. Not crack jokes. He does things, funny things, I can't really explain it right now. But they kind of laugh. Some of his kind of people kind of laugh at the weirdness of his humor. So he has kind of a funny, weird humor. Clown jokester. My mom and Greg were pretty friendly later on. They weren't hate each other after they got divorced. I don't think my dad was that friendly to her initially, but they eventually became friendly. I think it was witchcraft that made my mother divorce my dad, but I don't think my dad was having a good time with her. I don't think that they were really getting along completely, because she would just scream her head off and my dad would just run away from it, trying to get away. And that's but she always she always took it out on me, and mostly me. Sometimes my brother, but mostly me, when they divorced. So my dad did not mind getting away from the verbal assault. But I'm not going to talk about my dad too much on these videos, because I only talk about things written in the notebook, and if this wasn't written down in the notebook, I wouldn't be talking about it. So if it tells Pathway Supporter, it tells me things that Shia might want to know about my family members. However, I'm not going to just off the top of my head talk about my dad, and I'm not necessarily happy with my parents. I know that my dad has helped me and you though, Shia, a little bit, especially recently with the stamp on the envelope, etc. So but he always would visit me and my brother, especially if we asked. He wouldn't really go out of his way to visit us. Sometimes he would, but if we asked him, he always would come visit us. When me and my brother were living with my mom. But my parents have been a little tortured. I don't think nowhere as near as as what I've been tortured. That's why, my dad wasn't really allowed to complain, or my mother, about the torture that they were receiving, because then it would give it away. But I don't know if I said this. Yeah, I did. But that's all I have to say about my dad right now. But he wanted me to try to give you, because he's not on the internet, you don't really know anything about him, and I'm assuming you do, just because that kind of happens. So let's talk about the other notes now, Shia. Itchy, scratchy, digging, itchy, scratchy, picking, scurrying around, these rodents. I cannot believe this. I didn't know about, this was a hidden subject, that some of these criminals were rodents up until this past year. Especially when I saw an image on the Huron video of the rodent in the brain. I still couldn't believe it because they were hiding and covering it up. Nobody wants to be a rodent. Nobody wants to. The rodent versus the lions of the tribe of Judah. No, that's a joke. That's a humiliation, a joke on them. But I'm not an animal. I might have some cat energy because the lion is tribe of Judah, but I'm not an animal. So I put the frequency next to. So in regards to the frequencies of the rodent repellent, I'm not playing them too loud. However, I can't put them on my earphones because I think the high-pitched sound is too much for my ear, and I already have hearing loss in this ear. Who knows what the last ear doctor does? I have hearing loss in this ear. It got worse after that doctor made my ear bleed, I think. But poked my ear on, it bled. And this doctor had hearing aids in both ears and told me when he was a child he was kind of tortured by the doctors messing around with his ears. And then he pokes and makes my ear bleed. I don't think that was a coincidence. My body has been a little bit mutilated by these doctors. What happened with my leg injury? I still have extreme nerve damage. Scar tissue that never left after 15 years. Scar tissue. So I'm just gonna complain. I'm in a bad mood. I'm probably just gonna complain. I've been like having itch torture for hours and hours and hours. I have to exercise. I'm gaining a little bit of weight that I don't want to have. And Dad, in regards to my dad, he's not watching all these videos. However, I think he might watch this one because the spirit guides. But I'm not going to talk about my parents in these videos because these videos, they're collecting information, so they might. We don't have 100% knowing that they're going to help me and you, Shia. Especially my mother. So I took some photographs. The rodent repellent frequencies I'm still using, but I have to do it in a very low sound because I cannot. The thing is, I can't get caught with a sound like that because they have AI. They have AI. No, they could literally like possess my body to make a loud sound and then capture it, and like capture all the loud sounds and then use that against me. Because I've been told that that's going to happen. So any little thing that I do with noise is going to be used against me, because there's going to be some excuse as to why walls were cut up and directed energy weapons were used against me, and I was food poisoned for over a year and a half and longer. And my sink is I'm not able to use my sink. My bathroom vent is completely sealed off because he was blowing bacteria through my vent. The bathroom has not a great feeling and energy anymore. I can't keep a fan blowing in the bathroom when I only go in there for a few seconds every hour or so. That's just a waste. But I play the frequency and go outside my door to see if I can hear it, and to test it, to see through the door though. That's not a wall, so you can hear things way more easily through the door. So that's definitely not like they can't hear those frequencies. However, I don't play things too loud. I don't purposely try to irritate people with noise. And everybody has right. I've seen people with playing very loud music, but it doesn't ever go more than like an hour or two, and they turn it down. But I have had severe noise pollution, like, and complained about it. Remember in the first year, the bass speaker that was keeping me up all night long, among other things. That was painful. I've just been in so much pain, it's just unbelievable. So, I googled Internet Archive is being messed with, and it's saying no search results when I put in black magic and the Quran. It's saying no search results when I put in holy Quran and Jinn. I've taken photographs. I'm not going to show all of those today because I don't have the energy. But the Quranic prayers, I've been able to add to my list on Internet Archive the actual Holy Quran in English translation. I could not find it in the search engine on the website. I had to go into Google search to type in Internet Archive Holy Quran English, and then it loaded the page, and then it was there. But if I went onto the Internet Archive and searched Holy Quran English on the thing, it wouldn't pull up in English. Only a bunch of other languages. But a lot of this, whatever's going on with the spiritual ascension, they don't want me to feel powerful and important. So there's only a couple criminals really that are the ones that are like the leaders of torturing and killing me. It's kind of like making me look like a joke. It's like a humiliation ritual, and it's not the truth. I know it's happening to you too. I know it's happening to you too, Shia. But there's going to be some, if someone opens up their walls and puts their ear to the wall and can hear things, conversations, videos, things that I'm saying, that's going to be they can be accused of spying and stalking me. If someone cut open their walls and can easily hear the things that I'm doing, running the water, running the bath water, and then making a bunch of noise when I go to undress myself, turning the hot water in the Keurig and then pounding on the wall when I go to boil my water in the Keurig. If I do different things, if I stop and start music, if a song ends, once the song ends that I'm playing and it's silent for a little bit, lots of banging and sounds happen. There's some serious harassment happening, serious psychological torture with noise pollution. But if everything can be heard so much, that's going to be proof that spying and stalking is occurring. And I'm not lying when there's a level of obsession that is really scary that's going on here. It feels very uncomfortable. It makes me very sick. I've never put my ear to the wall at all. Maybe a few times, just try to figure out if the noise is coming from different sides, what side the noise is coming from, because they can use AI to make me feel like noise is coming from above. The first half year I thought all the sounds were coming from above me, and there was no one living above me. The first half a year, no, the first 6 months, I thought that there was all this noise harassment happening. They can use AI to try to travel, make the sounds coming from different places. And I think you have the same thing, Shia, with the neck. Wherever they placed it, you have the same thing. In regards to the hive mind deactivation, where everybody's linked together and we're like the glitch in the system, this is different. There's some people that were illegally corded to our neck through some kind of witchcraft cords that like can't look at the scratching and the burying and the digging, scratching and the burying and the digging. Rodent infestation 24/7. Scratching, digging, picking all over my body. They're just scurrying around, scratching, digging, picking, scratching, digging, picking, scratching, digging, picking. It's so fucking filthy. This shit's fucking filthy. That's being in a demon portal. When I'm constantly picking and scratching and itching my body, that's an extreme demon portal. And I did notice the views on Facebook, Shia. If I don't get views on Facebook normally. And the witchcraft spell about me having to kind of hate dogs is gone, because that was I'm not going to like explain it, but the witchcraft spell of me not disliking dogs is gone because someone's a rodent. That was just all witchcraft. Someone was claiming ownership of like dogs, and all dog owners hated me and were against me, and because of a name. So like I had this automatic AI resentment anytime I saw like dogs with a dog owner, and I was forced to feel like ashamed and guilty, embarrassed because I had that feeling of resentment. But imagine all the money I would spend if I actually went to try to get the hacker off my phone and cell phone. It would the rodent infestation. The reinfestation would just keep happening. So there's no amount of money that would have got these rodent to go away. V2K, you're not going to get away with calling people rodents. Well, if you're not proud of being a rodent, that's not my problem. I'm not going to get sued for calling people a rodent. And anyone who's watching these videos, apart from Shia, or the people who want to help me and you, Shia, that's called spying and stalking. Criminals aren't supposed to spy on their enemies and stalk them on the video. In regards to the glasses, Shia, the lady, the optometrist, before I went in to see her and she finally gave in and prescribed me multifocals. And it wasn't like an argument, like a fight. It was just like I had to constantly, repetitively convince her that what she's saying is she just wants me to continue wearing lenses that are going to hurt me. And I had to convince her that I don't want to continue getting hurt by these glasses. She told me on the phone, in regards to reading, because she goes, those glasses are really just for movies, TV, driving. So, if in regards to reading, just use one eye. She told me to use one eye to read. I'm not lying, and I'm not saying I'm not lying. She told me to use one eye. In regards to reading, why don't you just use one eye? This optometrist, I believe this was intentional and purposeful. Because if someone has a TBI with a permanent eye strain, and this has almost 20/20 vision, this is blurry. Where was I going with this? And that's theft. You only get one pair of glasses every 2 years. If she's refusing to give me glasses that are supposed to be for day use for reading and for far sight, and telling me to just use the distance ones, and saying that they're for reading, the distant ones are for reading, she said that several times. On the document of what I showed you for distance use, she told me several times, back and forth, that those were for reading. She either thought that I was a fool and could be lied to very easily, or she wanted me to go away, but that would be theft. That would be even more health abuse. If she stole my money, refused to do anything about the glasses, and then I couldn't afford to get new glasses in another place, that's theft. And that's more attack of my healthcare, and hurting my body. So it's 30 minutes, Shia. I'm going to stop this video and make part 2. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you so much. I love you, Shia. Thank you everybody for watching. Thank you so much, Shia, for watching.